shows us that people will try or will destroy what they do not understand. But what we must understand, those of us who are awakening, those of us who are shining, those of us who are remembering, is that what they do not understand, they also do not understand how to stop. So, what I want you to know is you might be feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm having this mass awakening in my life. And I finally feel like I'm remembering, I finally feel grounded in myself. But I have all this conflict coming at me. I have people coming at me all the time. And like anytime I try to share what I'm learning or share what I'm remembering, everyone jumps on me, they attack me, they isolate me, they mistreat me, they talk about me, they don't like me. And so that must mean that I'm wrong. And I'm here to say to you, that is exactly not what it means. This conflict that you're experiencing is actually confirmation that you're on the right soul path. And it's an interesting one. But just know that conflict by itself does not mean that you're going down the wrong path. Matter of fact, if it was too silent, especially at the times that we're in now, you might have to start asking yourself, are you living in illusions? Because everything is kind of becoming unveiled, including the things about us. And what it's really about is people disguise fear for dislike and hate. You know, when you think about all the greats, they were despised while they were alive. They were misunderstood. And then when they passed, then they became heroes, because then people could see the positive that they brought, how them being different truly changed everything for the better. But when they came, they were thought of as disruptor. They were called crazy. They were called demonic. They were called, just out of touch. They were called everything, including women, y'all. And so I want you to keep that in mind, that being different, thinking different, seeing, feeling different isn't going to make you popular. It's going to make you a threat to a lot of people who are very comfortable living in the illusions and lies that they have maintained and fought for most of their lives. The things that make them feel comfortable, even though it eats them up inside, those secrets and those lies to themselves, or the lies that they tell others, or how they feel about themselves but will never admit to themselves. They live in an upside down world but don't want to do the work that's needed to actually change themselves. So at this moment, if this is resonating with you, I want you to really, 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 really ground yourself in the fact that your compass in terms of whether you're on the right soul path should not be whether or not you're getting conflict from people around you. No, that's not a good indicator. Do you understand? If anything, I want you to look at it as this is a test. They're making you battle ready. They are the universe testing your commitment to whatever path that you have visualized. They are testing to see how battle worn and committed you are. So step up. Stand in your sovereignty. Stand in your confidence of yourself and what you would like to do. And like I said, how it shows up is people questioning you. Do you know how many people, since I started doing these messages, come at my head about these messages professionally, privately? So many people talk so much stuff about me, and it makes its way back to me, and I just ignore it. And a lot of people have tried to take me off my purpose. They have tried to take me off track. They have criticized me. They've talked about my lack of likes. They've said no one is listening. They've called me crazy and delulu. They have done everything, or said I am not spending enough time with them, even though I told them that I'm building this up to be a worldwide platform that could change the earth. But these people didn't care. They tried everything to discourage me, make me feel small, invalidate my vision, tell me about my relationship with God and what it is or is not. Tell me that I'm not hearing God, everything they could to make me question myself. And really to get me to stop posting and to stop being creative and to crawl back into the tiny little cave that I used to keep myself inside. That was the desire. And like, I don't know if these particular individuals like set up or woke up one day and was just like, oh, I'm gonna destroy her confidence, or oh, I'm going to like crap all over her dream because it's not possible, and she needs to focus on practical real world things, and she needs to focus on her career or whatever. She needs to be a better mom, whatever. And a lot of people, it's, oh, well, how can she speak on these things when I know these things about her? And I say, well, if you're saying that, then you haven't been watching my messages, like, at all, because I'm very honest and I'm very authentic about what I know and about what I don't know and what I'm still remembering. So that doesn't hold weight either. And y'all, my family, I want you to really hear me here. Your best defense is to be your true self and to be authentic with it. Don't lie to anybody. Don't overshare with anybody, but be grounded in what you mean and stand on it. Do I mean like, be deceptive? No, I'm just saying you don't have to share things with people that don't resonate or who aren't really aligned with you. You can keep those things to yourself. I'm very selective now about who I share my ideas with, who I even ask to go on missions with me, because yes, I go on missions. Somebody, when I had overshared, somebody had remarked, and I did it on social media, y'all. I don't know why I was feeling like I was excited. I'm like, the work that I'm doing with God, and like, it was just really exciting to me. And someone commented and they were like, oh, well, you are Superman. And the thought that came in mind is, I'm Kayela, actually. Because to me, in my world, I am. And that's the way that it should be to everyone, because we are each our own heroes in our own story. We just have to remember that. We have to see ourselves and like really step with that authority and that brilliance and that light. Because I can tell you 100% ain't nobody doing what I'm doing. And guess what? Not everybody has to know what I'm doing either. Matter of fact, I prefer it that way. I share with y'all some of the things that I'm doing. But we got a lot to work to do to bring in this new world. So be careful about who you share your vision with. Okay? Look, the reality is a lot of us are really the forerunners. We're the pioneers. The things that we do, no one will really understand, because we are literally creating the new earth. All the things in the past, are going to become irrelevant. We're going to override them. But we have to do the hard work. We're the first wave. Then there's going to be a second wave, and there's going to be a third wave, and it's going to go, go, go. And the more people that hit that threshold, the more people that remember, the more people that start getting connected back to themselves and their vessels, and then back to God, the more people will understand, and the less resistance that we will face. But we are at a critical point now where we are clearing distortion. Distortion is still here, and it is fighting bad. And it will do everything possible to mimic light workers, to mimic star seeds, to mimic the light. It's not going to stop until it's dealt with. So we have to understand that. And it will continue to try to make us look crazy and invalidate us. Period. And also, it will continue to try to make mainstream stuff that's completely low frequency and not relevant, and get people focused on chaos and distortion, like war and lack, and keeping people in that lack mindset. So when you are a trailblazer, like we are, you have to have a vision and a sight for where we're going and what we want to accomplish. And you have to be committed to it, and you have to hold the vision, even if no one else around you understands. Hopefully you will start meeting more people like us who can hold that vision with you, who can go on missions with you, who can share that frequency with you, that can share the burden of this energy work with you. And I believe that we are starting to build those communities. So I need you to stay strong. I need you to stay grounded. And I need you to stop seeking validation from people who can't even speak the same language as you, because they are not on the same level of consciousness as you. They are on a different path and a different phase in their journey. And you can help them along the way, not by trying to convince them that you're right, but by showing them who you're becoming and then seeing the impact that it will have in your life. I hope that this is helpful. I hope that it resonates. Shalane Tukai. Peace.